Hi, this is Jana Neville. I've got a presentation on the academic problem that we've been discussing all semester in our class, which is the implementation of a blended learning program in our district. The project is to train all principals, all the learning coaches, and as many teachers as possible in the use of our new district learning management system, and then ensure that they understand the appropriate use of blended learning in a classroom. It's a big task. The reason I chose this project to write about and to research is because we all want to improve student outcomes. And we're going to do that, hopefully, by using our new learning management system and training their teachers appropriately. Our goals are to get all of our principals trained, all of our learning coaches trained, as many teachers as possible trained, and then also to go backwards and talk about the appropriate use of technology in a classroom in general. As a professional learning team, we met together to congratulate our colleague on winning the grant, and then we had a long, complicated philosophical discussion that ended in a dead tie about who was all for going ahead with this big training and those of us who wanted to slow down, take it easy, and see how things kind of happened. We met together again and decided to move ahead. We got some advanced training on the learning management system. We determined that slow and steady wins the race, and to start small and go for early wins, and a couple of other cliches. But what we basically decided is that we're not going to jump in, all of us, all at once, and overwhelm ourselves and our teachers. We brought some of our learning coaches in to discuss with them, show them the learning management system and discuss with them how they might train people on this. What were some of the positive features? What were some of the problems? They gave us a lot of good feedback and some good ideas on how to make our training useful. We then had our principals in. They, of course, were overwhelmed. They started to look a little fuzzy. We told them to relax because at exactly the same time, we were having learning coach training and supplying them with the same exact information. They were excited about it. They were ready for more, and they were looking forward to how they could use this information in the coming weeks. Then we got these people together. And when the principals could sit with their learning coaches and discuss how they might manage the introduction of this learning management system to their teachers and implement it, they had great conversations and they got excited about it, enthusiastic about how they might want to use this learning management system. Since then, in our district, the principals and learning coaches have gone through our trainings. I've done an in-depth study of the subject and learned more about it, and everyone's feeling a lot better. What I learned is that the definition of blended learning is the convergence between traditional face-to-face learning environments and computer-mediated or distributed learning environments, technology. In the literature, we learn that blended learning began in business and industry, moved to higher ed, on to secondary education, and now is even prevalent in elementary education. Special populations turn out to benefit from blended learning. Teachers, Hispanic and Latino students, math students, homeless students, they all thrive under a non-traditional format of teaching. It increases their engagement and gives them a lot of options and a lot of choice that they didn't have in a traditional setting. Of course, we always like to talk about how our students are digital natives, but all of the students I know use their technology for gaming or for social media. I don't know anybody who is writing papers for fun or citing sources or researching any of this data. So those are all things that we need to teach. We also need to make certain that if we use technology in our classroom, we build it around the 4 C's. We need our students to communicate with each other, collaborate on problem-solving activities, use their own creativity, and use critical thinking skills to make good decisions. In my classroom, I train my students on how to do all of those things, but one thing I'm surprised about is the differing levels of abilities in just getting onto a Word doc or a Google Doc and formatting a paper. People can type with their thumbs, but they can't type with their hands anymore. So these are all struggles about technology that I have in my classroom. We've got an elementary school in our district who is a one-to-one school. Every student has an iPad. And teachers do a pretty good job of developing lessons that are not just using technology, but also those other 4 aspects to get their students to do a better job of integrating technology, face-to-face learning with personal development. Our district also houses the online school, and we've got 4,000 students registered in the online school. Their teachers live in different states and different parts of the state. Everything is done remotely, but they love it. People want options like this available to them so that they can raise their families the way they want. Clayton Christensen Foundation has a different set of blended learning models that involve rotating between face-to-face or regular classroom traditional teaching scenarios and technological scenarios, and then moving back and forth and flexing between brick and mortar, face-to-face, online, being able to choose off a menu of technologically developed classes as an a la carte model, and then working on an enriched virtual model where they're basically working at their own pace. All of these are options. And the point of all of this is that teachers have got to realize this is a fast-moving, technologically savvy world we're living in, and we've got to prepare our students to function in this world. It's not enough to give our students the content. They've got to be able to access it in a variety of different ways. The current climate and the literature requires us to attempt appropriate levels of blended learning in our classrooms. Thank you.